hope you're hearing me. Somebody could put a thumbs up if they're hearing me. Congratulations once again. And those that change, one family, one day at a time. So if I can do this business, I believe all of you here on call can do this business even much better than me. So I want to share a few things. What made me different? What gave me, how did I build this business? And how did it work for me? I just have a few things I wrote down that I'm going to share with you. And how have I managed to grow in my country without even my upline being nearby? My upline is in South Africa. Number one, I worked on myself. I had to work on myself. I had to work on my attitude. I had to work on my timekeeping. I had to work on what time I go to bed, what time I wake up, what duties to delegate. Am I going to look after the children, or am I going to get a house help? I really had to work on myself, beginning with my attitude and how I look at life. Then secondly, I also found out my strengths and weaknesses, and I wrote them down. I knew now Prudence is good at this. Prudence is good at talking. Prudence is good at sharing. Prudence is not good at, communicating. Prudence is not good at speech. And I had to start working on those weaknesses. So find out your strengths and weaknesses. Could be it could help you, but this is what worked for me. Then third, I started aligning myself with successful people. Now, all those people that were around me that were not making me grow, I started leaving them in a smart way. I would not tell them directly, I'm leaving you, but I would find a way and a situation or a scenario and somehow find my way out of your circles. And I would only remain in the circles of those that are helping me grow. That is also one thing that has made me grow in this business. So I started aligning myself with successful people. Finding mentors. You have to find a mentor, somebody that challenges you, someone that is better than you, and then align yourself with that person. That's how you're going to be able to grow in this business. Then I also began teaching myself. We have the back office. The back office has a lot of information. You can't even finish it. It's just too much. So find time during your work schedule or your busy schedule during the day, and then learn a product, learn how to maybe make a flyer, learn how CoQ10 works, learn about botanical balance. Keep teaching yourself, because that is also one thing that is going to make you successful. Then I also learned when I learned how to teach myself, I also had to learn how to grow in network marketing. Then reading became my culture. Definitely when you work on yourself, reading has to be one of the things. And the first book I read when I was getting on board was about attitude. It was Attitude is Everything. Winning is Attitude by John C. Maxwell. I read that book so much because I wanted to work on my attitude. Then the second book that I read was about personalities. I wanted to know the kind of people that we are going to start entering the business. What kind of personalities are they and how can I handle them? That also has helped me a lot. Then also I read a lot about health. I bought some books about health, general health, and also that helped me because of being in this pandemic. The training mostly is virtual, so you have to go out and do your own research and not wait for everything to be taught by you. So I did those things and many more, but those are the things I remember that I did. I worked on my attitude. I read about personalities and then also read about health. So I want to share some things about attitude. Just 3 things that I have for you. One is that there is a quote. There are three quotes that I got for you. One is, the greatest day in your life and mine is when we take total responsibility for our attitudes. That is the day we will truly grow up. So the moment I take responsibility of my attitude, whether it is bad or good, then that is when I'm actually going to take 100% responsibility of my life. And that is when I'm going to truly grow up. So it's not about my upline. It's not about my cross line. It's not about my downline. It's about me. If my downline is not making the points, if my cross line is not working, that is them. The problem is me. The problem is not them. So just go and work on yourself. So when you take 100% responsibility of your attitude, then that is when the growing up has begun in your life. Then secondly, another quote that also changed me was, people may hear your words, but they feel your attitude. So even when you come out and speak, even when you speak on phone, because I used to do a lot of voice notes when I'm explaining the company, the products on WhatsApp. Yes, people will hear your words, but they'll feel your attitude. At the back of their mind, they will know Prudence is interested in money and is interested in profit and is interested in PVs. Prudence is not interested in me. They will just feel your attitude, much as they are not seeing you. Now, when it is face to face, it's even real. So that is why getting back to working on yourself is very important. So people may hear your words, but they feel your attitude. I remember when I was beginning, I focused more on how many PVs am I getting into the team? How much profit am I making? You know, I was bringing my problems onto my clients. And I went back, when I kept working on myself every day, I realized that that was not a good thing. I realized that I needed to work on myself. And the first thing I'm to do is give the service. Whether I'm paid or not paid, I am to give the service. I am to share my story. I am to share how I'm going to support this person to see that they reduce their weight, and to share the journey and even do the follow-up. So we are to, people may hear our words, but they will feel our attitudes. They will feel, yes, I'm working with the right person. And that is why the clients will keep coming. And many of my customers have actually paid registration to join the business just to use the products. So why did they do that? Because they felt the attitude was right and they were in a safe space. They were in a safe place. So that is one thing I should always, I'm supposed to leave with you. So don't worry about how many PVs you're going to make. Don't worry how much profit you're going to make. Don't please your upline that you're going to recruit 2 people, but what you're to do is just work on your attitude, that when these 2 people come in, you're able to help them. Don't just bring them in and leave them for your upline. Work on them. Ask yourself, I've brought in this person, I'm supposed to be responsible for that person, because all what we are doing will catch up with us. Then also, last but not least, is that this other last quote is that good attitudes among players do not guarantee a team's success, but bad attitudes guarantee its failure. So I also wanted to leave that with that good attitudes among players do not guarantee a team's success, but bad attitudes guarantee its failure. Now, what am I trying to say? Is that much as you have the good attitude, remember there is that part of activity. You have to go out and market yourself and create a brand and talk about your business success story, your product success story, and share it and have a vision, have a mission. Tell yourself that today I'm going to reach this number of people. Give yourself a target in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months. I am going to become a director and I'm going to develop a director. I remember when I was starting this business, I told myself, if only I could make 4,000 points. Now, that is when I was making about 500 points. And I said, let me go on social media and market to my friends, my relatives, and everybody and strangers on the social media platform. But my goal when I was starting, I just wanted to do 4,000 points. I didn't even have it in mind that I would develop directors. I just wanted 4,000 points. Why? At that time, my husband had lost his job. My father was sick, and everything was just looking at me. My children were looking at me. The house was looking at me. And I remember even when my husband lost his job, he even fell sick for all those years. And I was also looking after my dad. So it was very hard. So all I wanted to do was qualify and get a very good check and then look after these people. Now, I had to sit down and tell myself, I had to put a goal as like, okay, now I need 4,000 points. So that means I am going to market. I have to do the flyers. I have to send them at this time, every single morning, lunchtime. You have to have activity. So much as you have the good attitude, you have to have also the need. And that need will help you create an activity in your daily routine. So, like I told you, I wrote down everything that I wanted. And that was my simple goal. And I remember one time when Paul and AJ came to see me, and they were telling me, Prudence, you can step up to the world team. And I was like, in my head, I was like, but these people, I wish they knew. My goal is just to make between 4,000 to 6,000 points, make a check and sort out my issues. And they kept encouraging me. Then Paul Matu told me, in fact, March, you're taking your first step to Sapphire. I really saw this gentleman out of his mind. But they kept giving me the challenge. They kept pushing me. Now, those are the mentors that I'm talking about. Find people that challenge you. So after that, I started seeing a change in me myself. People started asking, but Prudence, what products do you use? Prudence, you look so beautiful. Prudence, what are you doing? And I was like, okay, I think now this is the time I'm going to get to develop a director. And I started looking at my team. I saw a gentleman who was really working and sponsoring around the world. I spotted him, and then I was like, let me help him. And before I knew it much, I took my first step to Sapphire. Then I told myself, oh my God, it is possible. A person who began with just a goal of 4,000 points, at most I would do 6,000 because I already had directors in my team. I knew somewhere, somehow they would qualify. I didn't know I was going to develop new ones. Then I started taking my first step to Sapphire. Then I was like, okay, now this is possible. So I now started the activity and the momentum started taking on. But what can I leave with you is that you need patience. This didn't happen overnight. I was very persistent. I was very consistent, and I was determined to succeed because of the issues that were behind me. I don't know what issue is behind you. If it's not there, create it. I think that's the only way that it's going to motivate you and push you. So you have to be patient. What am I talking about? Patience. In the first 3 months, I never saw anything substantial. I would do 1,000 to 2,000 points and I would get money, but I was happy about the progress. And the day I clicked 4,000, actually, I was like, wow, I could not believe it. So you start slowly, be very patient, even when you're going to advertise on the social media platform, or you're going to go out and speak or start the Zoom meetings, whichever method that you're going to use and speak to your downlines on a daily basis, whichever method you're going to use, be very patient with yourself. The results will come. There is nothing that will go unpaid for. And I am a testimony. I never knew that I would reach this far. And the month I developed a director, I actually developed 2 directors. Yeah, in the 3 months that I was stepping up to World Team, I developed 2 directors. Now you can imagine my goal was just to qualify a title. I ended up developing 2 directors and an emerald. So that is what I can leave with you, is that work on yourself, work on yourself. If you hear so much propaganda, leave it to them. What do you want? What is your why? What is your need? What is pushing you? Now, because my need was so big, I had no time for things that were happening at the back of me. So all I wanted to do was to achieve my goal and to see that I'm able to meet what I wanted. So I want to thank you so much for this opportunity. And I know this month we are even going to become bigger and bigger and bigger. Over to you, Gladys. May God bless all of you and a successful July.